wow.
Oh wow. Is this happening? Oh my God. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Listen, I'm a Barber. I'm Jay Hollywood and I'm here with my guest today, Spanos and Jeff. Boys, welcome. Welcome show.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for having me back.
I told you I wanted you back. And I wanted you two here today. You know, and I got to settle in for this one, dude, because I got a little bit of venting to do today.
We're already starting this?
I have some venting to do.
All right.
Yeah, because you know what? I had a whole week in the shop, and
Oh wow.
Is this happening?
Wow.
Oh my God! Thank you. That was fantastic delivery service. But gentlemen, I had a couple people in the shop today. Well, actually, for probably the last 2 fucking years, but like this week specifically and today, I had a couple people just fucking bitching to me, like just fucking bitching. I'm a little tired of this. And I don't know what happened, but since COVID fucking started, I either got people rising to the top or fucking crashing to the ground. And I'm fucking fed up, dude. I'm fed up with other people not taking accountability for their shit. Give me the whole. Jeff, help me out here, dude. You see this?
I hear you, man. I hear it all the time.
I can hear something like
all
I'm
the time.
screaming. It's like,
Yep.
fuck.
It's getting to the point now, ever since COVID, like post-COVID, it's people are worried about, everything about their image and, like just what other people think because
I care about what you think.
I care about what you think too, Jay. I care about.
Are you lying to me?
I'm not lying to you.
Are you
I might be fibbing, but I'm not lying.
Are you identifying that you identify with me?
Sometimes.
I'll take that.
Yep. It works for me.
Did you still give him a good cut though? That's the question I have.
Yeah. You know what? As crazy as it sounds, dude, one thing I'll never do, I don't care how much I don't like somebody, how much they're irritating to me. I won't destroy my business just because I don't necessarily agree with somebody, which I think that's what most people would do. They're like, oh man, fuck that guy. And it's like, no, look, we don't agree with each other, but look, at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not here to fuck you over.
You're professional and a gentleman,
I try to be. I've had a lot of professional professions that I've dabbled in the past, but just recently it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. I don't really know where it came from. I don't know what influence people have chosen to intake over this fucking last few years, but I mean, Braj, where do you lie? Where do you lie with the way people are kind of headed in this society? Because I'm a little on the edge right now. I'm not really understanding the way people are moving today.
I think a lot of people are just moving in just crazy directions now. I feel like COVID, like you said, kind of either ruined you a little bit or it kind of made you smarter and like shaped you up a little bit or like woke you up, quote unquote, so to speak.
The wokeness.
Yeah. I like that. So I don't know. I think just the world itself is just in a crazy fucking state. Like we were talking about it when you were giving me a cut, like just some of the shit we were going to talk about tonight. Like, I don't know, man. It's weird out there. We were talking about the Target thing with the bathing suits.
You know what's funny? I'm not gonna speak like specifically on who I got into this debate with, but about there's a gay pride month, or there's like they've now given like a gay pride month or the LGBT whatever.
Yeah,
alphabet people. The alphabet.
Yeah.
But I got into an argument with this person, and not solely because of my views on it. It was more or less how they were projecting it to the people. Do you know what I'm saying? Because at this particular stage, I'm like, wait a minute. I walked into Target and all I see is all this LGBT rainbow stuff. And I'm like, that's great, but it's being marketed to children. And it's funny because the whole argument that I had with this person literally was over the business side, like the business. It had nothing to do with the lifestyle or culture. I was actually like, yo, you're not hearing me right now. Like you want to listen to what you want to argue about. I'm trying to just get you to understand, like, this is big corporate shit. Like they're making money off your community in a sense. And you're just like, yeah.
It's a marketing scheme.
Yeah.
It's kind of genius scheme. And then if you don't like it, or if you kind of like say what you just said, then just go, what are you, a bigot? What are you, a hateful person? What are you, a piece of shit?
I'm just logical. Just logical and a realist. That's all. I look at the way the world is, and it's really honestly hard to put into words. Like I would actually have to sit down and really think about that and to write it down or something, or actually like have a good conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's the key.
dude,
That's
yeah,
conversation.
it's just, I don't know, man. It's so hard to put into words. Like, I know how I feel, but then like the way you sometimes want to say how you feel, people don't agree. And I get that, and I understand everybody's got their own way of emotion, but come on, like, what happened?
See, I got one for you, and I'm ready to kind of like crack this one right the fuck open, because I really kind of just got overly submerged with people around me for it. Dude, BLM was a fucking scam, dude. Like, that was the best marketing for a shit product.
Yep.
It did absolutely nothing for the black community.
Mm-hmm.
I spent over 9 years in a predominantly black barbershop. I really got to see how their culture was affected by politics, by finances, economic structure. And I'm like, holy shit, in the very beginning, I'm watching the numbers for their donations skyrocket. And I'm like, okay, I'll get behind this when I see some of that money actually go towards the black community. And here I come to find out, what was it, guys? Like a year later, the runner of that actually got picked up for embezzling all the money. They got Beverly Hills mansion houses and
Multiple houses. Yeah.
yeah. But they do have paintings in the street. Like they did roll paintings in the street. You know,
Back to what we were saying, marketing. What a fucking slogan. There's certain things that like corporations and like, especially politics and political things, like they're brilliant at sloganeering. Like Black Lives Matter is unbelievable.
yeah.
Because you'd be like, well, yeah, of course, Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. Everybody's
If you don't if you don't agree with it, then you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you crazy, dude? Like, are you
exactly.
all right?
I just look at it as like, you know, it don't matter about your color, man. You're either a scum or you're not. It don't matter what racial slur you have for, you know, a black person, a brown person, a white person, whatever. Like, you know,
I'm short. Is this a problem to you?
no, it's not. You're fun sized.
I'll take that.
You know, every time I walk down the candy aisle at Walmart and I see like the fun size Snicker, I'm like, Jay.
You think you're big? Would you take a bite of me? Think about it. Would you? If I was like a Kit Kat bar?
Maybe if you were like a Milky Way or something,
What about a Butterfinger?
I probably could, but I have to bite the foot.
Really?
Yeah. You always get a foot, man. You need your hands, man.
All right, yeah.
Thinking about you.
I appreciate that. You're really
Or we
thinking
could just
about me.
chop off both hands and probably get a nice insurance check. You know,
I do have my hands
another
insured.
There you
Yo,
go.
I have my
Yeah.
hands insured.
Oh, yeah.
Cost me $40 a month. Have a $100,000 policy on my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I remember I got into a fight years ago and I fucking broke my hand like a jackass. I didn't ball my fist up tight enough. And like this whole back
I
shit.
remember when you did that.
Yeah, and I was sitting there, I'm like, man, that fucking punch wasn't worth it. And then I was sitting there going, oh my God.
A punch cost me money.
Yeah.
That, you know what? That one punch cost me, I'm going to say upwards of $10,000. That one punch cost me 10 grand. Dumbest shit I ever fucking did in my life.
Wasn't
man.
worth it.
Come on, we all know the answer to that.
It's like,
If you know Jay, you know it had to be worth it because he's a pretty logical human being.
Yeah.
So to get to that point with him,
and I'm
Yeah.
mad I miscalculated everything but the fucking punch. I was like, fuck, dude.
we won't blame the COVID. We'll blame the chronic on that one.
I'll accept it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy though, because one thing I really am struggling with is like trying to level with people now. Like I'm really trying, because I no longer want to play with just emotions. I don't want to literally have conversation that's literally just based upon emotion. Like, just explaining to my one client, and I have nothing against this because I feel this way to some degree, but like, you know, yeah, man, are the vibes good vibe check? And I'm like, yo, cuz not everything is a fucking vibe. Like, I'm going to Wawa. It's a vibe. Going to work, man. Like, what the fuck? I can't do that. Like, I'm really losing my fucking mind, because it's like, you know, sometimes you just fucking do something. You don't put an emotion to it. You just get shit done. I feel like people need to have a validation for how it feels to get it done. That's blowing my fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
That logic is out the door. They are not selling logic anymore. Granted, I don't think anybody in this country trying to take advantage in any type of fucking financial way is ever selling logic. They wouldn't fucking make any money. You know?
That's what they do. They emotionally manipulate people. Emotionally manipulate.
Unique New York. Unique.
New York. But they do. And that's what, you know, like, to go back to the BLM thing, like, that was what they did. They outraged, you know, they took an incident, a very specific incident.
Very specific.
They didn't necessarily frame it, but they put a certain angle on it, a certain light, and then it was like, this is this, and we need change and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, in your mind, you're like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But then when you really like break it down and you go into everything that happened, and then you find out all the details later and everything, you're like, whoa. Like, no, I don't agree with this, and I don't agree with that.
Flip the script.
Yeah. I think
We got a special guest over here?
Yeah, we got Frank chilling here, man. Yeah, we got his chain back on too.
I sent a picture of that to Amber, and she was like, yeah, the chain is serious.
Dude, the chain weighs more than me.
Oh,
Watch out. Okay, watch out, big boy. Come on. Good boy.
Like, I'll go on this side.
Yeah, I just want to kind of start getting to a leveling point. I want to ask you guys something, because this is like more usually our shop combo. Like, what do you think it's going to take? Like, what do you genuinely think it takes for actually crossing that threshold with somebody? I feel like sometimes I only get the benefit to sometimes get across to people because they're sitting in my chair. God forbid I'm somewhere at a house party having this conversation. It's like, it's not going to go as smooth as it would in the chair. One, nobody wants me to fuck their haircut up, whether they think I would or not. But it's like, it's almost like you have to find them in an isolated, like, not to like put them like pin down, but it's like, hey, it's just you and me now. Listen to this shit. And it's like, no. You're like, no, I don't want to listen. It's like, it's going to help you.
Yep.
No. Like, you guys ever watch that movie Free Guy?
I have not.
No, I know Brian saw it. Yeah. So I'm going to speed this real fast, but like, it's reminding me of
Jake Hollywood Spark Notes.
Like, this is what this movie was about, dude. It was with fucking Ryan Reynolds, dude. And he's like this NPC character in a game.
Oh, I think I seen a commercial for this. I think I know what. Yeah,
Dude,
see it though.
I used to laugh thinking like, I'm not going to watch this movie. And then I was just real high. I'm like, all right, I'll put it on click. Dude, I've watched this movie at least 10 times now.
Yeah.
And what it is this regular NPC character is just like going about his shit. He works at the bank. He dreams of this. And then next thing you know, this one character has this glasses on, and it's like, oh, these glasses people, they have the cars, they have the girls, they have the excitement, they're robbing banks. It's like a knockoff of Grand Theft Auto. Well, he gets a hold of the sunglasses, puts them on, and next thing you know, he sees a whole different world. And it's like a world of opportunity.
They spun off of They Live. Did you ever see that movie back in the day with Roddy Piper? The goat, Roddy Piper. They Live, it's called. It's from the 80s. It's like a kind of like a cult classic movie, but it's a similar concept. He was like kind of like I think he was an ex-military guy or whatever, but he came across these people that were like basically saying like, stuff isn't what it seems like. And they found these like sunglasses. And when you put the sunglasses on, you see the world for like the fucked up shit that's going on. Like you could see like there were like aliens and they were like running the world kind of deal.
Wait, what's that called again?
They Live.
They Live.
Watch it.
All right,
you'll enjoy it.
I'll check that out.
It's got the famous scene. You probably heard the line before where he says, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yeah. Wait, that was that movie?
That's that movie, yeah.
wow. Okay.
So I know I didn't see it, but I know the line.
Yeah.
I just got one thing about the movie that really like stuck out to me. Yo, Bri, I know you probably remember this part because like it was a real turning point, if you want to say emotionally, for the part of the story. But he sees his best friend that works in the bank with him. Now he goes off, starts living the glasses life, and he's like doing this, getting all this. Like he's literally upgrading as like a video character would do. Then he comes back to the bank and he's like, hey, buddy, haven't seen you in a while. You're still here. He's like, dude, put the glasses on. And he's like, no. He's like, dude, I'm your best friend. Listen to me. Put these fucking glasses. And then like the saddest part is he just kind of like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And I'm like, I'm watching this movie. I'm like, yo, that resonated so hard. I'll even say that was a vibe I felt. And I was like, damn, that was so real that he's telling him like, yo, what are you missing about what I'm trying to tell you? Like, I don't know if it's fear amongst people for moving forward. I don't know. But that part of the movie fucked me up, dude.
Very similar scene in They Live as well. This must have been like, that had to have been inspired by it.
I think so.
There's actually a fight scene they live between Roddy Piper and I don't know the actor's name, but you would know him if you've seen him. He's in a lot of movies. And Roddy Piper's trying to get him to put the glasses on, and the dude just like, no, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want, they weren't really friends, so I think they just worked together on a job site, like they were doing construction. And he was like, no, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not putting these glasses on. And Roddy Piper's like, put the fucking glasses on. Like, dude, I'm telling you. And then they end up having like this like insane fight scene where no words are even said. They just fight each other for like 5 minutes straight. Like all 5 minutes of like on air camera time where it was almost like uncomfortable. You were like, are they really fighting? And then eventually he puts the glass. And then
so he eventually puts the glass on.
Yeah.
Even when this whole thing's like ending, like the movie's ending out, the guy never put the glasses on. He just literally
stayed in the Matrix.
Yeah, he kind of did. I mean, Jeff, you run your own business.
Yeah.
I know we talk about this, you know, we love the whole Matrix, like the Matrix thing. I think that's so fun. But what kind of got you to the business part? You know, you eventually at some point had to go, wait a minute, I can't make a life off of X amount of dollars, whether it's a life you're looking for yourself or just, I mean, with today's times, kind of in general, you know what I mean? But like, what kind of got you there?
What got me there was, dude, like, I was sick and tired of working for people. And half of my jobs I got paid well. You know, I was doing well for at the time, you know, it was.
If you don't mind me asking, like, what's well? Because for you to change that, well must have not been good after you saw a different perspective.
Like when I was doing construction, when I stopped working for him, I was making $40 an hour. And that was not union. That was just a small general contracting company. So, you know, like that was good money. The owner was awesome.
$40 an hour.
Yeah. And the owner was awesome. It was a great
glasses on.
You put the glasses on.
Yeah.
And he saw the
so I had to do that. And I was like, all right. And then I actually still did that for a while I was starting and building my company and learning about what I have to do, just the little things, you know. And then from there, I was just like, okay, I can run with this. I just have to learn a little bit more. I was like, I'll have to learn overnight.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm still learning
every day, man. I can't tell you how many places I go and I see somebody doing what I'm doing, and I'm like, hey, and we talk for like an hour. I love when I meet the dudes that are like 50 years old still doing it. I'm like, I don't want to, like, I want to be you, but I don't want to be you, if that makes sense. You know, like, you're still out here doing it by yourself at 50. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to be out here still, but I'm not trying to have to break my ass at 50.
I had a goal. We were talking about it. You know, I do every half an hour, there's a new person in my chair from the time I start to the time I finish. I'm not looking to stop cutting hair. I want to cut hair for the rest of my life. I love doing this shit, but I don't want to do it with such a handicap. I'd love to cut one person, 1 hour, and the financial income doesn't have to make a difference. That's the goal I'm working towards. Because I listen to, like, you know, like the guys like Andrew Tate that got the points 50-50. It's like, I don't give a fuck about having a yacht. I don't want the responsibility. I'd rather rent it if I'm going to use it, like, to that degree. But I'm also not sold on, like, that tier of finance.
Yeah.
Like, merely egotistically, because I looked at it as if you're working within your tier, it's like, well, having more money is just, you could just have more options. It's like, but how much do you just build so much that, like, you know, there's just too much. Like, you know, I've seen other things in life I want.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not money.
I mean, exactly. And it's like every business owner, if you're really an entrepreneur, you want to work.
I think it's the spirit.
Obviously, everybody's goal is like, I want to make millions of dollars. That's, you know, but then they usually come to a reality. But there's always that reality of, too, you could take your business to somehow making it millions of dollars, even if you're the first one in your industry to do it.
Yeah, you can.
You know, like,
you can.
Dude, I've seen guys that are out in, like, Minnesota that are charging, like, $40,000 to do a car.
Wow.
Yeah, but they take the bumpers off, they take the axles out of it, like, they buff the entire car. It's an amazing, like, you get a like better than clean.
Like that low rider shit, like with the whole car's all like crazied out.
You got the mirrors underneath and everything's polished and all, like, But there's people that do that, and the guy will be like, "Yeah, man, I do like 4 a month." He's like 1 a week. I'm like,
I like that.
That's ridiculous, you know, like, that's crazy, and it's doable because he's doing it. So you know, you can always take it to the next level. It's just right now, we'll come back to the Matrix, and nobody wants to work.
But
nobody has drive, nothing. It's like, you know, I like the Matrix too. It's just
you know how to navigate around.
Exactly, dude. And people are just, there's a lot of people just stuck there, man. It's like, I feel like, to put it in like an image perspective, it's like me walking down a road and everybody's frozen.
Yeah.
You know, like you walking down, you know, South Street and everybody on the sidewalk's frozen besides you and a few other people that.
But I am coming to
know?
understand now, like, the longer I'm in entrepreneurship, the more that like NPC character makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I would want to do it,
No.
just because I see the other side, but it's like, I do get it. Dude, there are many, many times where I'm like, oh, I could actually start living a life at 5 o'clock at night and then just go back. And it's like, but wait a minute. I actually gave myself that option when I went entrepreneur. Now I have 24 hours, but it's like, hold on. I spend that 24 hours still moving. Like it's like a spirit. Like,
Yeah.
like I like entertainment, but I really don't like to entertain myself too much. I feel like it's
nice just to chill sometimes.
Yeah, but I feel like entertainment sometimes it's productive if it's not abused.
Yeah.
Raj, you know what I'm saying? Like you were telling me the other day, it's like you love going out, but you still have a means to where it's like, yo, it's not dumb or it's not smart to do it every fucking day at this level. It's like, whoa, hold on.
Right.
But that's like a fantasy people are living in their head. Like, and this is where I go back to the entrepreneur thing. If you're just working for that type of lifestyle, you're kind of like, what would you say? You're up shit's creek without a paddle because it's literally just a never-ending chase.
Exactly.
But if there's a purpose behind it, it's like,
You're always going to want to build your company. Like I know I'll have a level of where I'll be like, okay, I'm satisfied, but I'll never be satisfied.
because you know there's more time.
Exactly.
It's the time.
It's just, you can learn more. Technology now is just making things easier or quicker, and it's just about like,
How long before AI replaces?
dude, I'm like,
I've thought about
dude, yeah, me and Jay have already. So this is one of my conspiracies.
Yes.
Let's go.
That within the next 18 months,
18 months, that's fast.
18 months, 2 years tops,
Okay.
there's going to be some type of disease like corona, but it's going to attack our intestinal tract with all this crap they're doing with the farms, and they're just making these farmers
Yeah.
throw away animals or dumping 50, 60,000 gallons of milk.
So this
For no
is your
reason.
future's bet.
Yeah.
This is your future.
So like
What
what I'm saying, and it's not going to ever be seen before. And it's going to be, like that's going to be the one where like I feel they're actually going to like instill something in us, and that's what's in their food. That's why I told you I want to go to the 4-H fair, man, and buy a cow and a pig.
Very weird though.
And it also, dude, at the end of the day, when you break down the price, if you were to buy it in a market, you save like $6,000 at the end of the day.
Oh, buying the cow.
Buying the cow, having it butchered, everything. Like
I can see that.
you get about 600 to 680 pounds
got
out of a
less.
whole male cow.
Yeah, then you get less whatever they use, the chemicals and shit.
Exactly, because
Not
it's
just that, but
the only way they're getting attacked is if the farmer's putting something in their food.
Right.
Other than that, they're good.
your dad and my dad, they drove.
Yeah.
My pops, I don't know if you and your pop spoke about it before. Like, Jeff, my dad has broken it down many times. He's like, the reason things cost what they cost is because of the individual sales to a person.
Yeah.
Instead of buying in bulk, you're buying individual packets. Those packets take whatever their containers are. Someone has to move it, but to just move one cow, it's pretty easy to move one cow. Instead of breaking the cow down into 1,000 different individual packages, that's what you're paying for. Then you're paying to get it delivered. Then the gas inside the fucking truck that you're taking, it's
That's
crazy.
what people don't get. I always thought that was crazy with people especially just learning from our dads and stuff. Like, people will be like, oh, if you're bitching about the gas prices, like, get a fucking like electric car, like a smaller car. You're like, yeah, maybe that'll help me specifically, like maybe a little bit, but it's
Even then, I think that.
but it's still, I think electric cars are too, but that's a different, we could get into that later. But like,
I actually do want to get into that later. But go ahead.
I'm down. But people don't realize that, like, when the price of gas goes up, then all that shit that comes on trucks and on planes and shit costs more to fucking shit.
Got to fuel the truck.
Yeah, they're like, people don't like put two and two together. They're just like, well, then just get a smaller car. And you're like, well, that's not really the solution to everything, guys. Like, it could be for, maybe like a very small specific thing, but not as a whole. Like, that's why shit costs more.
Yeah, and I think that people look at that as like it's a conspiracy. It's like, no, that's actually
It's just fact.
it's just facts and mathematics.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's what most people kind of don't, and that's what sucks. Sometimes when I'm talking to people in the shop and I'm explaining that, they're like, oh, I just don't understand. Like, why can't we do this and why can't we do that? I'm like, from a broader perspective, like, that doesn't work. You're literally only looking at it from your own personal perspective. And I think that's kind of where COVID really like just to bring that whole thing full circle, it got people to literally be selfish. Like, be so selfish that you don't help your fellow peer. Like, you don't help. Like, dude, I'm addicted to helping people just because I thrive on being able to hear something new. Like, you ever hear someone that's just in the same fucking spot? They're talking to you about the same fucking thing for weeks or months and all this shit on it.
About the weather. And you're like, yeah, man, how about it? Every fucking day.
You know what's funny? The sun came out today. I don't know if you saw that. There was a fucking cloud or two, and I was like, one more than yesterday. Like, that conversation, it's
nowhere. That's a 2-minute conversation tops.
And I think that's what people are bred to know.
Awkwardly next to each other because there's nothing to talk about.
No, but I think, and this is where I don't know, because I'm not going to, it didn't happen to me, and I can't actually project that this is what happened to people. I can't put that judgment on it, but there is an odd fear that people gained when that wasn't necessarily challenged. I'm going to try to explain it to a sense of, like, nobody challenged fear of living. So then why are people afraid to even do something merely as just converse? Like, just to even discuss ideas. Like, that is completely gone out the fucking door now.
The main thing with all that, in my perspective, and it's not just COVID, it's like everything. It's like the alphabet stuff, it's the BLM stuff, it's politics. Nobody wants to be considered a bad person. Like, they don't want to be labeled like, oh, you're a fucking piece of shit, dude. Like, wow, you think that? What a terrible human being you are. So, like, that was the whole thing with, like, that's how they basically got everybody to do certain shit with COVID. They're like, if you don't wear a mask, like, you're going to fucking kill. Yeah, you're a piece of shit. You're going to kill grandma. If you don't get a shot, you're going to, and you're like, none of that. If you really logically break things down and think and stuff, you're like, but why? I like to ask why all the time. It doesn't even matter. Like, it's just like, you want to go here? Why? Why do you want to go there? And like, people didn't even they were just like, yo, yes, I wear a mask and I need to get a shot. I'm not going to even question anything. Like, don't even be one of those crazy conspiracy theorists. And you're like, you're just asking a fucking question. I'm not saying, microbiology me this and explain the whole fucking virus to me. Like, I'm not asking that. I'm just asking, why do you think putting a piece of plexiglass in front of me and fucking wearing a mask that literally says on the box does not stop the spread of viruses? Yeah. Why is that going to stop? Or, like, why is that going to fix everything?
Oh.
But that's, I could be wrong, but I didn't feel like people would have allowed that. Like, you had your few people that kind of stood strong. Like, remember when Ian I love Ian. He's got very, very specific views, and sometimes we go back and forth on him, like when I'm cutting his hair. But
I tend to agree with him more times than not.
Yeah, I definitely.
Everything, obviously, because nobody agrees with everybody on everything. But a lot of things he says, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Do we share our disagreements? Like, when I say, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from here, but then I also see where I have to take myself out of what I'm not agreeing with, because some things he's actually shown me a bigger perspective, and I'm like, wow, okay, I can see where someone who's thinking about themselves would be very disappointed in this. But to not see the chessboard as just a single piece, it's like, okay, the chess player is kind of manipulating all the pieces. It's like, yo, I'm sorry, this part was a pawn. And I think that pisses people off. Like, they're a pawn.
Yeah. Just think of every major, like, hot button topic. Like, right now, what's like a really sexy one, like guns. You have people that are like super about guns, people that are like either, they side one way or the other, or there's people that are like, fuck them, get them off the streets, hate them, like, you don't need them. And then you're like, when you really think about it, though, you're like, yes, in like a perfect world, if you put like these ridiculous gun laws that people talk about, you're like, yeah, that would work. But like, not a perfect world, and they won't work. Yeah. Like, rape is illegal, right? And stealing, but it happens every day.
Rape is still illegal, right? It is still illegal, but it's like Joe Biden is going up his
anyway. Can go into Walmart and rob them.
Right.
Yo, check this out. So my girl's mom, she like actually got bumped up pretty quick to this one store. So she's talking the other night at dinner. We're all just kind of just bullshitting, and she's Ukrainian. She's got a very heavy accent. But she's telling me, she's like, yeah, this person just came in with a cart, loaded the cart, and they left and walked out. There's really no repercussions. Walked out. But I look at that and I'm like, hold on, like, they just started stuffing a cart, and like, she runs this place, and she's like, what do you want me to do? Like, really, what do you want me to do?
I've seen videos of that shit before. Yeah, it just happened. And now too, like if you were to get caught, it's almost like fishing. It's like catch and release. They catch you and they're like, all right, well, you're allowed to go back out now. Like, here you go. Like, don't do it again. All right. And
Well, there's no consequence.
There's not.
no, it's crazy.
And this is what's kind of hard for me, I guess. No consequence and no accountability. I can probably say, there's a lot of people in my life that may not like when I say this, but like I do look at people differently when they don't take accountability and they fucking know it. Like that shit bothers the ever living fuck out of me. Because I'm like, yo, the potential that you dream of and speak of is right inside of you.
Yeah.
And I've lost certain relationships in my life due to a lack of accountability. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like when you start developing relationships with people, it's kind of like, yo, this person, like that one person we were talking about, like he was an ace in our book. And then next thing you know, just wasn't taking accountability. I'm like, yo, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand who you thought you were to some degree. And it's like, there's a lot of people right now that are high on the hog. And I'm like, look, I got a nice rapport with a lot of people, but who the fuck are you? Because I would look at myself and say, who the fuck am I? Like in the grand scheme, we're little fucking pegs on this fucking board.
Yep.
And there's some people high on the hog. I'm like, dude.
We're just a number.
It's like you understand. Listen, there's a perspective. A lot of it's maturity. Like if people just have, you view the world differently now than you did 10 years ago. If you don't, you haven't grown up as a person. If you still think the same, I need to go out and do this and do that. Like get the newest outfit and shit. And you're like, well, yeah, that's cool. But
well, did you hear the one quote? It's like the man who thinks the same way at 29 as he did at 21 has wasted 8 years of his life.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's deep. And I heard that when I was in the barber shop. Rondell actually dropped that line on me. And I was like,
it's true though.
yeah, I was high as shit too. I'm like,
how was that, Ricky?
I'm like, oh my God. And then next, I go back to cutting hair. Dude, I was silent, just just like really just.
Then that would just essentially mean you haven't learned anything or you haven't picked up anything along your way. You're still just thinking the same viewpoint, the same bullshit. Well,
see, for entrepreneurs, it's actually, I feel like it's like the anxiety is like twice as bad because at least like if you have something that someone tells you to do, that part you don't have to worry about. But if like you have to worry about that part and the repercussions of it, it's like it's 2 times the anxiety. It's like, okay, if I do make this choice on my own, is this going to pay off? Like, is this going to be a suitable move? Dude, I've lost on multiple moves that in my head, I was fucking like, nah, I got this. I'm calculated. Like, this is it. And it's
home
like,
run, yeah.
And home run, 350. Like, fuck, how did I call me looking?
We've been there a couple times.
Yeah. I just think that's a fear, though, that people have. And it's like,
just trying to take that jump on an adventure.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But at the same time, it's a sick, like I envy you because I work in the corporate world. So it's like, I kind of have to mind, like I was telling you about what happened in my job with the person above me or whatever, that like the crazy shit that happened there. And you're like, damn, like, you can say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing to the wrong person. And then you're gone like that.
So I've always had a mouth, dude. Jeff, I know we talk about it all the time.
Words hurt now. Yeah, let words hurt you, man. If words hurt you, it's got to be a hard life.
Yeah. Well, not just if words hurt you, but, I used to say this. I used to say this to my ex. And the messed up part is it's like, I don't really believe anybody I think good people don't try to attack people. But then there's some people who don't know how to accept what you're saying and they just perceive it as an attack. Like, oh my God, this person's trying to hurt me. It's like, wow. Like, I don't know if you truly understand. And I got real fucked up with this. Is why I got very conservative with like the people I spoke to. Like, that's why, Chase, this whole experiment with doing the podcast, I really only like to give this advice to the people that support me. This is kind of like a new venture to give it to somebody. If you are listening, it's kind of free. You know what I mean? To have this game. It's like, when you're really getting the opportunity to think about more, it's like, you don't need to take it. Kind of like, put the glasses on, bro. Like, no, you don't have to take it. Like, it's actually okay. Yeah. I would really, really, really like you to take them. But if you don't, it's like,
I understand.
Yeah, I get it.
Disappointed.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it would be, and I looked at this, like, he felt disappointment when his friend didn't take the glasses. It's like, it's not his choice. And that's where I also do get off with people where I'm like, I get it, it's your choice. But it's like, I will not accept that choice if there are complaints that require a choice to be made. You know, like when people are hitting me with the complaints, I'm like, yo, look, you need to do this to change that. I don't want to do that. I'm like, well, then you got to stop complaining.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to hear that. Like,
Bro.
that's where it's asinine to me.
Yep. Too many people are like that. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not here to hold your hand. I ain't your daddy.
And how rewarding,
You know, like,
I'd say, how rewarding is it too when you might not have been the person that gives this person advice or like the viewpoint of it, but then they kind of like something clicks on them, and then you see it, and then you start having a conversation with them, and they have a whole different viewpoint on it, and you're like, oh, you figured something that, you figured something out. Like, that's cool.
I think as long as I think you have to be very, very mindful though. Like, I've definitely had to check myself when I'm talking to people and explaining something new to them and almost saying it so aggressively because I understand this new thing. So it's like when I'm trying to explain it, I get a little too excited. Like, no, this is motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, my man. It's like, sorry.
Yeah.
But sometimes like you get to that point and I'm like, oh my God. Listen, so now we have something to grow on because that's the hard part for me.
Yep.
When I can't get somebody to see that second part that I'm seeing, it's like, well, everything you're talking about now, I cannot relate.
Yeah.
I can almost instantly detach logically because you can't accept this concept. And it's like, I go back to it. I'm like, well, I guess I can't make you see it any other way if this is what's easier for you. I like the hard road. The hard road came with so many like amazing rewards. And it's like, I finally understood like a particular type of jealousy. It's not like winning. Like, I feel like everybody has wins, but like when you have a unique win, like a very unique win that it's like, well, wait a minute, he did that way. It's like, well, that hasn't been done.
Yep.
It's like, we're talking about participation trophies in the shop. It's like, you're literally getting a trophy to participate. I find that disrespectful to human growth.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That sucks to the person that actually won.
Yeah.
If
you ain't first, you're last.
Exactly. What the fuck is
Devalued
this shit, man.
Devalued your victory.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, can I at least get one of them too? Like, give me
I got two. I get two snow cones.
Like,
Just say, I got one and struck out 3 times. I hit a home run.
I want a whole pizza, not a slice.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
No, I just don't get it because, again, Frank, Frankie boy,
Go ahead, Frank. Go.
The fucking ball.
yo, he dropped his chain, man.
Of course he did.
Yo, that chain's too big for his neck, man.
He has the other one.
Nah, he fucking snapped it. He was wrestling with the other.
Just doesn't want to show it off.
He's
being modest. He's like,
He's home.
I have it.
Frank, please.
Was
Not the ball.
Yeah, but like, I'm going to bring it back full circle to COVID again. It's like, I never saw participation until maybe I noticed it after, but like, I'm really like, where did it come from? Like, first, second, third.
Yep.
I thought that was it. First, second, third. And like, you were almost more disappointed to be at third because you were the best of the worst, or you were the worst of the best. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, damn, I'm the worst of the best. It's like, but you're still part of the best. From the worst.
Yep.
It's like, well, fuck.
I'll know the whole world's rigged when the Olympics start.
Are they doing that?
They might be. Who knows, man? The world's wild.
Me and Brad.
Are there future bets on this, though?
Well, I was just going to say, do you think you
The odds have got to be like a plus 100,000 right now, Jay. We put $1 in and be Fire Island.
You definitely bet on the. I don't know if you could bet on participation. True, you could bet on the Olympics.
Can you really?
It's future.
Yeah,
I've never done that. Never bet on the Olympics.
2036.
I look at
participation trophies coming in. Beijing.
I look at everything now, like me and you were talking about it this like last football season. Like I always just look at the storyline. Like for basketball, as soon as the Sixers lost and the Lakers won, I was like, I know what they want. I mean, Lakers lost. Yeah,
Lakers.
They want LeBron. They want LeBron to have his Celtics, rivalry as a Laker. And I was like, and if I'm wrong, that's a really good fucking storyline. At least that I was wrong on that they could have used. But
dude, we got fucked this year. We got fucked with. Yo. I swear, dude, and listen, to all my viewers, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I thought this was going to happen. I lost big. So I'll literally tell you right now, I lost. It fucking sucked. I swear to God, I really thought the NFL was going to have the Eagles and the Cowboys in that championship, or like that would have been
such a moneymaker. Like they fucked up on that.
Yeah.
Then that 49ers game stunk. I mean, I know the Eagles, especially Eagles fans, were happy about it, but like the game itself sucked.
Yeah.
The Cowboys-Eagles game would have sold so much fucking.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it. Dak Jalen Hurts. Everybody's playing like it's
the storyline with both hurt and they didn't play each other. The one game each. Hurts was out one game, Dak was out one game. They could have played each other to go to the fucking
dude. I laid 5
missed opportunity. We got to call the writers.
Yep, we do.
Yo,
Vegas,
listen, man. Watching that game, I'm like, okay,
didn't see that one.
Well, it was funny. It was like watching that game back and forth. It was like Dallas beat them on offense, defense, and special teams. Dak just blew it with those 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, was that part of the script? I'm like, fuck, dude, that was not part of the script. Shit,
I got the wrong one. Like that one that leaked on the Eagles Super Bowl when it was like, this is going to be the final score. And then it ended up being like almost like the opposite. It was like the Chiefs ended up having like the score that they said the Eagles were going to.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy. I put money on it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, dude, why wouldn't, dude, listen, this is a conspiracy I have about that game. Why wouldn't they have him win in State Farm Stadium as he's a State Farm, like, host?
You want to go down this way?
It's like,
I
dude,
would love to do
I'm
this.
just saying, like, dude, you know how much money they're going to make off of having that Super Bowl trophy in their commercials?
Ready? I love that. That was a part that, so, remember we were sitting in the shop, right? And I wanted the Eagles to win. Straight up. For the morale, for the city, like I wanted the Eagles to win.
All our friends, yeah.
Yeah. But something deep and dark was like, yo, some tells me the Chiefs are going to win this game in like a fucked up fashion. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, nah, Eagles got the better defense. Nah, man, they got the better offense. I'm like, he's got a fucking tight end. He's got a fucking tight end. That's what he works with. Like no star receiver. I'm like, okay. And then I start looking at, well, what if this just wasn't about football? What if this was about business?
Bigger picture.
Yeah, let's talk business. So that's all I for.
That's what, dude, the NFL is an entertainment company, not a sports company.
Of course. And that's where I started looking. We were talking about that's how we look at our bets now.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not betting.
Exactly.
I'm betting what realistically they would expect the common person to think.
Yeah. Right. Unless it's like a week 3 game and it's like the Lions versus the fucking Houston Texans. And it's like, okay, that's just like, that's who's going to win.
No,
like that's probably just a better team. But I don't know,
dude.
Dude, people are saying the Lions are going to make it a lot further this year. So, I mean, I don't know if they do, then I kind of feel it's a little
I like the Lions.
Yeah, no, I like the Lions too. I just feel like that their team is not, dude, they just gave away the running back.
Yeah. I think they'll be all right. But
they're not bad.
Real quick though. Fuck.
Well, I was gonna say I remember I had an unpopular opinion in the shop with the Chiefs game.
Yeah,
because I was like, the Eagles, in my opinion, were a better team on paper. Top to bottom, they had better overall offense, way better defense. I don't know. I guess the coach I would give to the Chiefs, but whatever. But I was like, the one thing that is throwing me off because I look at the storylines, being into the wrestling game and all that shit. Who just retired? Tom Brady, right? He was the face of the league. Mm-hmm. You always have to have the golden boy quarterback. They were kind of grooming Mahomes to be the next guy, and they were talking about all the stats and all that shit, but he only had 1 ring, and then he lost the Super Bowl to Brady. So in my mind, I was like, if he loses to the Eagles, the golden boy of the league, unless they were going to, switch directions and make Hurts that guy now, but, Mahomes at least.
They're setting it up for
Mahomes had the stats for the years and stuff. So I was like, okay, so the golden boy of the league's record is 1-1 in the Super Bowl. If he loses to the Eagles, now he's going to be an under 500 quarterback in the Super Bowl. That's a bad look. That's not, what did everybody love Brady for? Because he has all the fucking rings. He wins. He only lost, 2? So I was like, in my opinion, they need to make him 2-1, to just give him that one up. Because now if he could win like realistically 1 more. I mean, he might win more than that, but if he wins 1 more, now he's got like that credibility of like he was the quarterback of that era. He has 3. And you're like,
you think Mahomes is a 30-year player?
I don't think he'll play as long as Brady did. No, I think Brady.
And I think that's the point.
Neither do.
They're going to speed up.
I think he's like a 15 to 18.
Maybe, but I think they're going to speed him up. And this is something else I got. It's kind of fucked up, but like it plays into what the NFL was really pushing, I guess in the past 2-3 years, you ever notice they've been pushing a lot of racism stuff and racism. Mm. What did they say about the Super Bowl? It was 2 black quarterbacks. They made it a point during the whole fucking campaign. Guys, this is the first time 2 black quarterbacks ever played. Yes, if we're going to go statistically, which is how they actually can break, you can kind of break certain things like socially, if you market it like a certain way. Yeah. So I look at it this way. Patrick Mahomes has a black and white parent.
Oh, you can market him either way. He's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
black and white. He beats racism.
Yeah.
And look, he beats racism. Patrick Mahomes literally beats racism.
Dude, they did it. They wrote it on the fucking field, and racism, and they did it. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's
Here I thought that was silly, and they fucking did it. Unbelievable.
but Reddy, look how like backdoor that concept is. I thought it was genius. So when I put my money down, I put it on the Chiefs. But literally was watching this game like, oh my God. Like one, that game was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal game.
Till the last play.
Yeah. But I don't know. I got that. And I got one more conspiracy or one more way of looking at this that I thought the Super Bowl was a little played out. So, Bri, check this out. This is numbers, and this is like, I guess, geography at this
The
point.
only thing that don't lie is numbers.
So check it out. In Kansas City, you have to go to the casino to put your bet in. To make it a legal bet, you have to go to the casino to do so.
Physically.
So let's say you go to Kansas City. For the majority of the Chiefs fans, they place their bets. Okay, they're done.
See where
Yeah. So we live in Philly in the New Jersey area. Well, not just that, but what can you do
Right on your
right on your phone? You can go right on FanDuel. Patty Mahomes fucking dogged his ankle and looked like it was done.
Yo.
The amount of live money that got bet on the Eagles to win that game.
insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Because logically, it made sense. You were like, okay, so the only real guy that's got the chance to beat them is fucking hurt.
Forced his
So,
fucking
yeah, he's like,
ankle.
he's acting up, winning an Oscar, and then the Eagles look great going into half, and you're like, oh yeah, this is good.
Oh, yeah. And all those live bets poured in. A buddy of mine works for,
yeah.
I'm not going to say which one,
Mhm.
but he works for one of those agencies, and he was like, dude,
All the Eagles.
this is
Overload. Yeah. Just
So you got to look at it this way. Let's run it back real
can
quick.
you imagine sitting
Yeah.
in front of the computer and watching that number? Like, could you just imagine?
Ready? State Farm, Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes. He beats racism by being black and white.
Yeah.
The sports betting on the fucking phones. What was the other one I just
They
said?
take the money.
Yeah, they can do it right away. I don't think we had another one, but at this point, it's like fucking conspiracies, man. It's all about the big business. COVID, like it's all just revolving around this conspiracy around big business. And it's like, fuck, man. It's so relevant to where if you could kind of see a little bit past like just the first, they just,
I think it's crazy.
can you pass me the glass? I think you gotta put the glasses back.
I think it's crazy. Like, all right, so right before the Super Bowl happened, all that script shit happened, right? Somebody, a player, I don't remember who it was. A player did a podcast and basically said it was scripted.
Arian Foster?
Yeah,
Foster.
Someone, he said it was scripted, and then I felt like the meme world and the internet like ran with it, and then they were making all these like hilarious jokes and like, oh, like Mike Vick's dogs of the year. He found out that script, and like, Joe Burris's leg of the year. You're like all just like hilarious things, and you're like, yeah, and they they diminished it, and they're like, that's silly if you think that, like you're dumb. And then the last play of the game ends on a bad call that basically assured that the Chiefs win.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't know. You just kind of played right back into it, in my opinion. But everybody else was just kind of like, no, it's not scripted. It can't be. And then you're like, I don't think the players.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think the players know.
No.
I don't even think the coaches do. I think it's just the upstairs, like
Yeah, but you figure.
Howie Roseman.
Yeah, but all the refs have earpieces, right? If they need you to not have a good drive, you call a hold. That fucks your whole drive up, no matter how good of an offense you are. Now you're 10 yards back, you're out of rhythm.
Yep.
Somebody's pissed off. Maybe A.J. Brown just caught a big ball that got called back, so now he's pissed off. He's like,
I think
fuck.
anybody that actually physically bets or gambles or looks at any of the lines literally will sit there and go, how the fuck are you that right on every fucking... It's like...
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there is an algorithm, and this is, I guess, where the Arian Foster script thing came into play. I actually really liked it because it was comical, but if you really go back and listen to it, it's very accurate. Like, if you really think about it, what do you use to play football? A playbook. That's a script.
Yeah.
You're practicing a play. You're literally practicing a script.
Right. If you're a run first team, that's your script.
You're just not remembering lines. You remember where to run.
Right.
But see, think of it this way. Like, when you break it down like that, like, he said it so logically. It's just the perception of how you took it. Again, another marketing scheme, which was fucking brilliant, because look what it did. It was, I loved it, dude. It brought so much hilarious shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, I don't understand why people don't even question that. Like, and they're like, there's no way. Like in our group chat, we were just talking about it the other day in our, the fantasy league that you were in for a long time. And like a couple people were going back and forth, and one person was just like, there's no fucking way. Like, I'm not going to agree with you, and I don't want to even argue with it. And then another person was like,
And that's how you got to end it. It's like, you're done. All right, we're done here.
No, yeah, I end that conversation. I'm not trying to lose brain cells.
Dude,
I think like
I love it to some degree. I really do.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I do.
Conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy. And you know what? You know where it all started? The Titanic.
Like the Hollywood.
Your favorite one.
I love
How we're going to wind this down.
I want to wind it down with this one because
drop some knowledge, Jay.
I'm going to drop a little bit of knowledge. And you know what? I'm not the originator of the knowledge, but I became so like, I don't want to say obsessed because I think that's a like really extreme word, but very interested because a lot of it made sense. You know, Astor, the richest man in America, owned 40% of all the mortgages in America, and his side was opposed to the Federal Reserve. I just find that to be very interesting when that's the only challenge, and it happens to be the richest man. And that happened to be the guy that died on the Titanic.
That went on the Titanic. And then who didn't get on the Titanic?
J.P. Morgan and a few others. And I think that alone just shows. And then the Federal Reserve banking was literally created the following year. And that's what we've been following ever since. So think about it. Like, to some degree, the Federal Reserve is almost as outdated as like even modern day school techniques. You know, it is like a very interesting controlling method. All comes from the Titanic. Like, that one incident made such a fucking monster movie. It's like, you put that much money into that movie? Another conspiracy like I kind of have, because like, wait a minute, the amount of money they put in to make that movie, it's like, hold on, you thought that story was worth that much to spend, and they spent it to send that story everywhere. And I said it, it's like, yeah, they put it right in everybody's face.
Everything has always done that. Any conspiracy theorist knows that. They put that shit right in your face.
That's what scares me about the Matrix. Did you ever watch?
You gotta pick it up. You gotta pick it up, and if you don't,
if you don't,
sorry,
you don't have the glasses on.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, the
Just
golden
like-
glasses.
Yeah.
Nah, but gentlemen, I'll tell you what, this was a fun one, man. I appreciate you guys coming on today.
I mean, if you do watch the movie Titanic backwards, it's a magical ship that saves people.
That's a solid point. Is that what really happened?
I mean, if you watch it backwards.
Well, Jeff, can you do me a favor before we actually sign off?
Yes.
You fire that thing up. Raj, you ready to join?
Has to be after. I can't.
Oh, we're pretty much done. We're gonna sign off.
No,
Yeah, we're gonna sign off on this one. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We got Jeff, we got Spanos. Thanks for coming on, guys. This was fun.